Ethan Carter wasn't just another server at Maplewood Bistro. He had an uncanny ability to make customers feel appreciated. With his friendly smile and calm demeanor, he was adored by regulars. To Ethan, everyone deserved respect, whether they wore a tailored suit or scuffed sneakers. That Wednesday afternoon, the restaurant was unusually quiet. Soft classical music filled the background, the gentle clinking of glasses adding to the serene atmosphere. The gentle chime of the doorbell broke the stillness, and Ethan looked up to see a young man enter, flanked by two serious-looking men in dark suits. Ethan recognized him but greeted him as he would anyone else. "Welcome to Maplewood. Table for one?" The young man, Oliver, nodded and chose a corner booth. Ethan led him to the table, offering a menu. "Take your time," he said warmly, his voice calm and inviting. Oliver quickly scanned the menu and placed a modest order, a grilled cheese sandwich and iced tea. Ethan nodded without comment. "Coming right up," he said, heading to the kitchen. Before he could hand over the order, Ethan's manager, Mr. Wallace, intercepted him. "Do you know who that is?" Wallace hissed, glancing toward the booth. Ethan shrugged. "No, sir." "Should I?" Wallace's tone sharpened. "That's Oliver Hastings. His father owns half the city. Handle this carefully. No chit-chat, no unnecessary interactions, and for heaven's sake, don't make a scene." Ethan nodded, suppressing a sigh. He focused on preparing Oliver's order. When he brought the food out, Oliver's quiet "thank you" didn't go unnoticed. Ethan smiled, adding a friendly "enjoy your meal" before returning to his tasks. As Oliver prepared to leave, Ethan noticed something on the seat, Oliver's phone. Without hesitation, he called out, "Excuse me, you forgot this." Oliver turned, a flicker of surprise on his face, as Ethan handed him the phone. "Thank you," he said sincerely, his voice tinged with gratitude. Ethan nodded and resumed his duties. However, Wallace's disapproving gaze bored into him. Later, Wallace summoned Ethan to his office. "You're fired," Wallace announced coldly. Ethan stared in shock. "What? Why?" "You broke protocol. Interacting with that boy like that could have ruined our reputation," Wallace snapped. Stunned, Ethan left the restaurant that night with a heavy heart. His modest apartment felt emptier than ever. The next morning, he sat scrolling through job listings, but nothing seemed right. Just as he was about to close his laptop, his phone buzzed. The screen displayed an unknown number. "Hello," Ethan answered hesitantly. "Is this Ethan Carter?" A deep voice asked. "Yes." "May I ask who's calling?" "This is Alexander Hastings." Ethan's breath caught. Mr. Hastings?" "Yes. My son Oliver told me what happened at the bistro yesterday," Hastings began. "He said you helped him when he left his phone behind. It wasn't a big deal, sir." "Anyone would have done the same," Ethan said, uncertain. "Apparently not," Hastings replied. "And I heard your manager fired you over it." "That's unacceptable." Ethan remained silent, unsure of how to respond. "You seem like the kind of person we need in our organization," Hastings continued. "I have a position for you at one of my companies. Name the role you want, and we'll make it happen." Ethan blinked, his thoughts racing. I don't know what to say, sir." "Say yes," Hastings said firmly. "My assistant will contact you with the details." Before Ethan could respond, the call ended. He stared at his phone, replaying the conversation in disbelief. The Hastings Corporation headquarters was a world Ethan never imagined entering. Its sleek glass facade towered over the city streets. Ethan adjusted his tie as he stepped into the grand lobby, where a receptionist greeted him warmly. "Mr. Carter, welcome. Mr. Hastings has arranged a meeting with our executive team inside a spacious conference room." Ethan faced sharp professional individuals. They asked about his background, his skills, and where he saw himself fitting in. By the end of the meeting, he was offered a position in client relations, a role that came with responsibilities and a salary beyond his wildest dreams. Over the following months, Ethan flourished in his new role. His colleagues respected him, and clients admired his genuine nature. For the first time in a long time, he felt truly appreciated. One evening, Ethan received an invitation he couldn't refuse: dinner with the Hastings family. Seated in a private dining room, Ethan felt both nervous and grateful. Oliver greeted him warmly, no longer the reserved boy he'd first met. "Thank you," Oliver said earnestly. "You didn't have to help me that day, but you did. My father says people like you are rare." Alexander Hastings raised his glass. To Ethan Carter, a man who reminds us that integrity and kindness always matter, the applause around the table was loud, but Ethan's smile remained humble. In that moment, he realized that a small act of kindness had changed his life and reaffirmed his belief in doing what's right. Weeks later, Ethan was given additional responsibilities at the company. His role expanded, allowing him to oversee a small team. With this came new challenges, but Ethan tackled each one with dedication and a desire to inspire his team to succeed. He found himself mentoring others, sharing the lessons he'd learned throughout his journey. One day, Oliver visited Ethan at his office. "I've been thinking about what you taught me," he said. "It's about doing what's right, even when no one is watching." Ethan smiled, knowing Oliver was growing into someone his family could be proud of. Their conversations became more frequent, and a genuine friendship blossomed. Ethan's personal life also saw changes. He reconnected with old friends and joined a local charity focused on helping underprivileged youth. Volunteering became a part of his routine, and it reminded him of the importance of giving back to the community. These moments brought him immense joy and fulfillment. During an annual company retreat, Ethan was invited to speak. Standing before his colleagues, he shared the story of his time at Maplewood Bistro, the unexpected firing, and how kindness opened doors he never thought possible. His words resonated deeply, earning him a standing ovation from the crowd. In his free time, Ethan began writing a blog about his journey and the power of small gestures. To his surprise, the blog gained a following, with readers sharing their own stories of how kindness had transformed their lives. The platform became a space for inspiration and connection. One evening, after a particularly long day at work, Ethan received a letter from a former Maplewood colleague. The letter thanked him for being a role model and shared how his actions had inspired them to leave toxic environments and pursue fulfilling careers. Ethan felt a profound sense of gratitude reading those words. As months turned into years, Ethan continued to thrive. His contributions to the Hastings Corporation left a lasting impact, and his work in the community earned him recognition beyond the company. He developed a mentorship program within the corporation, helping young professionals find their footing in the competitive industry. One of the most rewarding experiences came when Ethan was asked to lead a new division focusing on community outreach. This role combined his professional skills and personal passion for giving back. He worked closely with schools, local organizations, and businesses to create opportunities for underprivileged youth. On a particularly special day, Ethan was honored by the mayor for his contributions to the community. The recognition was humbling, but what touched him most was seeing the young people he had mentored succeed. It reminded him of his journey and the unexpected turns that led him here. Through it all, Ethan remained grounded, always cherishing the day he chose to help someone without expecting anything in return. It was that single moment of kindness that had reshaped his life, proving that even the smallest actions could lead to extraordinary outcomes. For more stories like this, don't forget to follow my channel. Have a great day.